Hi everyone! Today we're taking a look at some very interesting insects you've probably known since childhood. You're watching the Animal Time channel, and today we'll see what the grasshopper and its closest relative, the cricket, are capable of. It wasn't easy to find material for this video, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd support the video with a like and subscribe to the channel. Get comfortable, let's get started. Grasshoppers belong to the order Orthoptera, and there are no fewer than 6,000 species of them. Grasshoppers can be distinguished from locusts by their long, flexible antennae. As a rule, they exceed the length of the insect's body, and sometimes the antennae can be 2 to 3 times longer. They're essential for touch, and later you'll see those long antennae in action. Locusts, on the other hand, have short antennae that don't even reach half the length of their bodies. They gather information about their surroundings primarily through sight. In addition, grasshoppers have longer and more powerful hind legs, which allow them to make huge leaps. Both grasshoppers and locusts are well-known musicians. A file rubs against the edge of a string, producing sound. A violin bow works much in the same way. In fact, some grasshoppers have mastered this skill, producing a rather loud sound. Take, for example, this giant Malaysian grasshopper. By the way, despite its size, this is a completely harmless insect that feeds mainly on vegetation. Grasshoppers typically use their hind legs to produce their chirping sounds. These legs have small spines that the insects rub against their forewings to produce sound. Grasshoppers, the most well-known of which is the locust, are mostly herbivorous. They feed by nibbling on the leaves and shoots of plants, and this poses a very serious danger to humans. After all, it has 2 life stages that differ greatly from one another. But I'll tell you more about that another time. Let's take a look at what grasshoppers are capable of in action, and we'll start with a grasshopper versus a caterpillar. The calico moth caterpillar looks rather strange. Its forked tail, sharp spines on its back, and hard horns on its head aren't exactly appealing to most people. And its mandibles can chew through more than just leaves, although its terrifying appearance is the caterpillar's main defense. But today, a hunter with perfect camouflage has gone out on the hunt. It can remain unnoticed right in front of its prey. Even the veins on its wings look like the veins on a leaf. Except this leaf is actually a predator. The horned grasshopper looks very intimidating. Its front legs are covered with spines that hold the prey and prevent it from escaping. Powerful sickle-shaped mandibles capable of gnawing through even heavy armor. What else is needed for a successful hunt? The caterpillar begins to sway, pretending to be a snake. This works, and the grasshopper freezes, unsure of what to do. But soon, the grasshopper breaks the caterpillar's act and lands a precise strike. The caterpillar tries to wriggle free, curling its tail in an attempt to strike back, but the grasshopper holds its prey firmly with its front legs and sinks its mandibles into the soft body of its victim. This grasshopper never eats plants. Even when eating a caterpillar, it avoids its internal organs to steer clear of dangerous chemicals. The caterpillar was easy prey, but grasshoppers can also attack larger insects. For example, here a green grasshopper has attacked a cicada. In fact, it's a large fly that's even bigger than the grasshopper. But that doesn't faze it. It holds the cicada with its front legs and looks for a spot to sink its mandibles. The cicada tries to fly away but can't. Meanwhile, the grasshopper begins to bite off the cicada's legs one by one, leaving it no chance to escape. Here's another video showing a grasshopper catching a cicada. This hunt takes place in the forest right next to a tent, much to the delight of the vacationing tourists. It's not often that you get to capture something like this on camera. There are thousands of species of grasshoppers, and not all of them get along with one another. This brightly colored grasshopper looks very unusual. It seems as if it's made up of different parts, but it's a real predator, and a very aggressive one at that. While all the other insects are hiding, this grasshopper calmly crawls across the leaves and eats anything that crosses its path. But there's another hunter living nearby. The bulging-eyed grasshopper is a very fast predator, equipped with everything needed for a successful hunt. Spikes on its front legs, sharp mandibles, excellent vision, and high speed leave its prey no chance at all. What will happen if these two grasshoppers meet on the same path? The brightly colored grasshopper shows its aggression and attacks first, but its opponent has excellent reflexes and dodges the attack. Another attack, and again it misses. The bulging-eyed grasshopper moves too fast. And now comes the bright grasshopper's third attack, and this time it manages to grab its opponent. There's no escaping this grip, and the grasshopper begins its meal. When it's over, the defeated prey's remains will be scattered everywhere. This enormous grasshopper is hunting a small grasshopper and catches it with little effort. But nearby, another dangerous predator, a praying mantis, is watching, and it has set its sights on a large prey. But the grasshopper isn't one to be outdone and shows off just how powerful its legs are. However, this doesn't stop the praying mantis, and it decides to attack. It knocks the grasshopper off the branch, and the battle begins as soon as it hits the ground. But the mantis overestimated its strength, and after a few strikes, the opponents go their separate ways. The mantis leaves to find easier prey, while the grasshopper returns to finish its meal. When talking about the praying mantis, we can't fail to mention another fighter, the leaf-footed grasshopper. This is a professional heavyweight that looks just like a leaf. But it's an incredibly dangerous predator and is well armed. Not only the first pair of legs, but also the second pair are covered with spines. The length of its antennae unerringly determines the distance to its prey, and its large head conceals a well-developed mouthpart and powerful chewing muscles. But when it encounters a mantis, the outcome is unpredictable. While the grasshopper is sizing up its opponent with its antennae, the mantis immediately goes on the attack and forces the grasshopper to retreat. The mantis attacks again, but this time it misses, while the grasshopper continues to probe its opponent with its antennae. But what was that? In slow motion, you can see how the grasshopper leaps onto the mantis in a fraction of a second and seizes it with its spiny legs. All that's left is for it to put its sharp jaws to work. And this rather creepy grasshopper with red eyes is called the spiny devil. It earned this ominous name for a reason. Its entire body is covered in sharp triangular spines, and this creature can grow up to 2.76 inches in length. It's also an omnivore and really loves to hunt. For example, here it caught a small grasshopper, which became its lunch. And here, a cricket wasn't so lucky. It too becomes food for the spiny devil. The grasshopper is so aggressive that it can even attack mantises. True, dealing with them isn't that easy, and it's better to get out of the way in time. And here are some amazing shots of a grasshopper attacking a lizard. And you certainly wouldn't envy the lizard. The grasshopper holds it with its front legs and immediately starts eating it. I don't know about you, but I have absolutely no idea why this happened. After all, lizards run very fast. And this is what happens in the wild. Here, a parasitic wasp has captured a grasshopper and paralyzed it. Now it's completely at her mercy. All that's left for the wasp to do is dig a hole and bury the grasshopper alive. And even ordinary wasps sometimes attack grasshoppers. And often, such battles don't end in the grasshopper's favor. Lizards also never turn down a chance to feast on grasshoppers, especially if they're small. Spiders love grasshoppers too, especially when the grasshoppers jump into their webs on their own. Then even the sharpest jaws won't help. That said, some do manage to break free. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd appreciate it if you'd give it a like and leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. There's lots more interesting content coming your way. And now I'll say goodbye. Not for long. Bye.